We have arrived in Jaras, the Ark of Hadrian. It was built in year 129. This one is the Hippodrome. Across the Hippodrome, there is the Church of Marianos, built in 570 AD, Temple of Zeus. And here, you can see the Oval Plaza down there. This is the place for the fountain, the Pompeii of the Middle East, because basically you can see most. Hi, good morning everyone. I'm at the North Bus Terminal in Amman, Jordan. And from the North Terminal, I'm gonna go to Jaras, a town north of the city of Amman, and there is a lot of Roman remains there. So now let's look for a minibus to Jaras. So I heard this is the bus to Jaras. So let's go. This is the bus. The driver. You can see the wind and the rain getting stronger, and I think we're still waiting for more passengers to come in. But from the weather report, it's gonna be getting better very soon at 1 p.m. Okay, so now 1 p.m. the weather is better as predicted, and we are leaving the North Bus Terminal 1 p.m. The minibus stops here at Northwest Amman to pick up more passengers. You can see that's the end of the BRT station, and the minibus is now full. We're gonna continue our journey very soon. Now we are going north to Jaras, about 60 kilometers to the north of Amman. We are now entering the city of Jaras. Okay guys, so we have arrived in Jaras. Well, in the Bible, maybe you read Gerasa. And this is actually one of the few towns that actually have remains of the Greco-Roman towns that's still very much preserved. There is Hadrian Ark over there, and let's go there and check, and I'll explain more about it. So this is Hadrian's Ark. It was built in year 129 or 130 to welcome, the visit of Emperor Hadrian. That's why it's called Hadrian's Ark. And we're gonna enter, but we enter from there because the entrance to the archaeological site is there. And there are other things, not just this monument, but there are hippodromes, and you will see a lot. So just follow me. Let's go. Entrance archaeological site. You are welcomed by souvenir shops. I've now entered the archaeological site of Jaras, and again with Jordan Pass it's already included, so you don't need to pay. But they don't actually check the Jordan Pass, so well, you see. Anyway, this is the monument, ancient Jaras. Some explanation. It's been known with a lot of names: Jaras, and Pompeii of the Middle East, because a lot of Roman remains, Greco-Roman remains that still preserved very well until now. Like for example, this one, the Ark of Hadrian. Let's get closer and I'll explain more when we see more buildings and more monuments. I will show you the map. Gerasa, we are here in the south, and we're gonna go walk to the north. And here we are here, just now the handicrafts villages, Hadrian's Ark in front of us. And there's gonna be Hippodrome, Great Temple of Zeus, South Theater, Umayyad House, Abbasid Mosque, Cathedral, North Theater, Agora, and many more. So let's follow me by entering through the gate. This is where Emperor Hadrian in 130 actually passed through the city of Jaras. Wow, amazing remains. I really like antique stuffs. And we're gonna walk up. This is the gate of Hadrian, built about 100 years after Petra, but you can see the similarity. That's Greco-Roman architectural style with the columns. Wow. Yes, amazing. Let's go. So I have entered the city of Javas officially because I've passed the Hadrian's Gate, you know, the gate to welcome Emperor Hadrian. And right on my left, this one is the Hippodrome. It's called Hippodrome. Maybe you know hippo. Hippopotamus means horse of the river. Tamus River, hippo, horse. So Hippodrome is a building for horse racing. Now I'm climbing up the Hippodrome. Probably it has a better view. Oh, wow. Yep, exactly. For horse racing, the horse enter from here. Run all the way there. And make a U-turn. And come back. Whew, must be amazing. Really great. You can see the city over there. We are going there. Let's see from the top. There is a, I think, Byzantine church with the mosaic over there. We're gonna go there first. And that's the Hadrian's Ark. Across the Hippodrome, there is the Church of Marianos, built in 570 AD. It's a Byzantine church. There's an inscription about that. It was destroyed by an earthquake in 749 AD. So that's actually when Gavasa was actually become a diminished city after the earthquake. And it was built near the 1st and 2nd century tombs. I don't know whether it's actually Christian tombs or not, but now you can see it's filled with trash and garbage. And that's the church. We'll go there, but before that, in front of the church, it was in the 6th century. This one is already, you know, already half in the ruins, and they actually made some of the rooms into deacon's house. And you can see the writing over there. It's basically telling that it's a deacon's house. The house of the deacons of the church. And it was built by Marianos according to the inscription in the church. That's why it's called Marianos Church. And there's still some mosaics which is very much preserved, which we can see if we climb up. So follow me and we'll see from the top. It's this one. It's just a simple nave, you know, so it's a small church basically. Yep. And you can see the inscription, it's over there. It's in Greek. And before, as I told you, Gavasa is one of the Decapolis, the 10 cities, League of the 10 cities. So it was actually popular. And that's the city sitting on top of the hill. Apparently in the church I saw you already a tomb over there and a tomb over here. There's a tomb over here. So actually it was a necropolis from 1st to 2nd century, but even some remains from the Iron Age period, maybe about 500 BC and more. So even the Hippodrome, before it was a necropolis, and the Hippodrome was built here on top of the necropolis, and it was used, as you can see from the top, it was a really good hippodrome. And yes, you can see from here, and this is to the top. We've been there, but I'll show you a little bit from here again. So it's a U shape over there. Later on, it was no longer used as a hippodrome for horse racing, chariot racing, but the northern part, is actually becoming a kind of theater for gladiator competition. And this part becomes like a kind of market for potters and others. Technically, we are not yet in the ancient city of Javas. This is a restaurant, and here Javas Visitor Center. Now we are really entering the city of Javas, because this is actually the south gate of Javas. And above we can see the temple of Zeus. Maybe we'll see that from up close also. So follow me. Here is the explanation about the south gate. So it's probably built around the same time with the Hadrian's Gate. That's why you can see that the design is a bit similar, although smaller, and it looks more decorative, you know, to welcome the emperor rather than for defensive purposes. But in the end, it was incorporated into the defensive of the defense of the city. It became part of the walls that surround the city, 3.4 kilometers. And there has been some renovation even much later, as you can see. This one will probably like more of the original stone blocks, but this one, as you can see, this one is added later, probably from the hippodrome, so from the temple, just to fortify the wall. So anyway, let's enter Gavasa. from the south gate. So according to the explanation, this one was not the original main gate. Probably the main gate is actually there, and there's an ancient road to Philadelphia or Amman. And so this is the gate once you enter, and the West Oak and military barracks, it's right here. There's some explanation, and I couldn't explain everything, it will take a lot of times, but basically I think Soak means market. So probably once you enter the city gate, there is a marketplace over here. You can see probably all the shops they were lining up between the original gate and the new gate, and this is really cool. See? So let's enter further. More explanation. So there is oil press from 3rd century AD. It's actually beneath the West Market. You can still see the grinding stone, that one. It's a grinding wheel, so it should be like this, and to grind on that for olive press. Very nice. Okay, let's continue. Oh, by the way, this side is actually at the bottom of the Temple of Zeus. It's really big temple, and we couldn't see it because we are too close. So let's continue. Walk the Gerasa Philadelphia road, this one, the southern road. That's why the market was located here, because it's a ancient road that is very crowded by people moving from Gerasa to Philadelphia or the other way around. Philadelphia, by the way, is the old name of Amman and also one of the Decapolis, like Gerasa. See, Temple of Zeus. It's actually this one, very mighty, very big. We can see maybe from later, from up there. Another entrance to the temple. And here on my right, it's a oval plaza. So it's usually where people gather, probably also open market in the ancient time. It's oval, the oval plaza, and it's colonnaded. You can see the columns surrounding. And the Temple of Zeus is right there, from down here all the way up. I just read the information board over there about the oval plaza. So it was built also in the 2nd century during the Hadrians, and it's oval, which is very unique in the Roman period. Probably it was built oval to accommodate the intersections between the Caudo or the main road, which is over there, with the Philadelphia Gerasa road that we just passed just now. So I think it will be very great if we look at this area from the top. That's why I'm climbing up towards the Temple of Zeus, which is right there, Temple of Zeus. And besides the Temple of Zeus is the theater, the South Theater, because there are 2 theaters here in Gerasa. That's the one. So let's climb up and we'll see from the top. You can see the sculpture, probably hairs, really good. And see several levels of this. It's really interesting. I don't know what it is, and I cannot guess, but let's go to the Temple of Zeus. It's really high. I'm now walking in the Temple of Zeus with giant columns, Corinthian columns. Capital, you can see there. And here you can see the oval plaza down there, which is very cool. Amazing, right? You should come here to Gerasa. So Zeus Sanctuary is actually located down there, and this one is the temple, which is newer, from the 2nd century, but before it was actually much older. Ah yeah, this is my friend. He wants to join me. And what's your name?
What's your name, Tamer? What's your name?
Obey.
Welcome to India. Welcome to
India.
Jordan. Welcome to Jordan.
Jordan, really cool.
Where you from?
I'm from Indonesia.
Indonesia. 3, 2, 1. Indonesia,
Indonesia
number 1.
1.
Welcome to Jordan. Ciao,
Thank you,
grazie.
thank you. Yes, that's amazing kindness from the people here. And even in the temple, there's actually an upper terrace. you can go up there. Now we are going to see the theater. I think I'm gonna climb from here. This is Arabian traditional music. This is the theater. That's it. So this is the theater. I show you already. And here some hidden, not hidden, it's a chambers. Look how big it is. You can see the temple of Zeus over there. And I think the music show is performance for the tour. Anyway, that's it. This is the South Theater. There is a northern one also. Let's go back. Definitely the theater in Amman or Philadelphia is much bigger. Anyway, so let's go. I'm going back towards the Oval Plaza over there, so we can just walk via the Cavado or the main road of the city rather than through these hills. You know, there are more columns over there. Now I'm walking via the Cardo, the main artery of the city, connecting the North Gate to the Oval Plaza, or basically North Gate towards the sanctuary of Zeus that we just visited earlier. And this is really cool. It's a colonnade. You can see the columns still standing majestically, and it's very long. I think 480 meters to the North Gate. And on both sides of the road there are several monuments like Bathhouse, and also another temple of Artemis, which we will visit very soon. This is really long, but you can already see the North Gate at the end. And here there used to be a mosque, Umayyad Mosque, so much later Umayyad and later Abbasid. And there is a mausoleum, I don't know what it is. And there's also shops. It's called Shops of the Southern Cavado, and this is, you know, the southern area. And this one probably kind of a square because it forms a junction or intersection. There's another road towards there, probably Westgate. And I think there used to be big buildings here. You can see the 4 foundations over there. We can see the explanation from here. It's called the South Tetrapylon. It's a tetrapylon plaza from 3rd century till the 6th century, and people think it looks like this in the past, and just the base remains. There you can see, and it used to support 4 statues: Emperor Diocletian, Maximian Hercules, Constantius Chlorus, and Galerius, known as the Tetrarch, at the same time. That's why there are 4 bases. The Mosque of Jawas, nothing remains from the time of the Umayyads. Now I'm leaving the Tetrapylon Plaza. That's towards the west intersection. We continue towards the north because there is a temple of Artemis. That's the North Gate, and now I'm turning towards the temple of Artemis. Probably it's here. You can see the stairs, and some gates still exist, like this one. I think this one is a smaller gate, with the stairs leading to the top. There's an even bigger one that still exists. It's this one, 2 stories high, maybe more in the past. Oh, this is the Nymphaeum. This is the place for the fountain. As you can see, the place of the fountain in the past, but probably it was on top. And you can see that's the location of the ancient pipes. Probably they sprout waters from there, and there might be even a statue on top. Amazing. So the fountain is actually here, and what we're entering is cathedral and then temple of Artemis at the back. And this is the cathedral. So this is the oldest Byzantine church in Geras. Yeah, only up to there. Okay, maybe let's go and see. And here, yep, this be the cathedral. It's really big. Wow, you see, that's the Nymphaeum, the back, and you can see the front of the church, the cathedral, all the way here. More buildings there, and temple of Artemis. Let's go there, and that will be the end of our journey today. No wonder it's called like the city, the Pompeii of the Middle East, because basically you can see most of the required monuments to make something a city, like the theater. There's even the hippodrome. Now there is a church, temples, the Cavadio, actually bathhouse, but we didn't visit yet, and Nymphaeum, and the temple over there. So if you can see that this is an amazing place, and just telling you, this is just Geras. It's a big city, yes, but it's not even the capital of a province. So can you imagine, Rome in the past must be much glorious than this. Wow, even small town like this can be this good. I can never imagine like how Rome looks like. The cathedral was amazing, but the complex still very big. There is a fountain here, and this is the church. It's the Church of Saint Theodore. And there is a lower level, probably a room. Even under here probably there's a chamber, and Saint Theodore Church, the main church here in Geras. That's why it's called cathedral. There was it's a location of a bishop, and this is it. You can still see the big columns and the Artemis temple nearby. Wow, I would say I can see everything. Every monumental city, the main one, temple of Artemis. There, okay, I cannot see the north gate. And that one, you can see the east gate, the Nymphaeum over there, the cathedral, the fountain, the church of Saint Theodore. And over there, I can see the Southern Theater. Let's zoom. The Southern Theater there, the Oval Plaza over there. And at the back, I can even see the hippodrome. That one. So, I think that's all for our journey. Maybe I'll show you a little bit of Temple of Artemis, and then we go back. Finally, the Temple of Artemis. There are a few more buildings like over there. Tourists are going there because there are like 3 Byzantine churches. But I'm not going there. We don't have enough time. We still need to go back to Amman. And it's the Temple of Artemis. You can see the city of Geras currently surrounding the old town. Yep, this is really great. Wow, I think this is the largest temple in Geras. I think bigger than the Zeus temple. Look at that. And inside, even though it's not finished, probably before there are already some activity and building, most possibly in the highest part, which is the inner sanctuary, which is in front of us. And now it's locked, so nobody can get in. But this is the inner sanctuary of the temple of Artemis. So that's the temple of Artemis. Quite interesting, although not much to see, but from the top you can see Geras. So I'm going down. Actually, I could see the north gate from here earlier, but now it's already behind that. Okay, more people are coming here, so let's go. Okay, the last one might be very important. Hydraulic stone saw machine, 550 AD. It's probably the first machine, earliest machine in the world. So it's found here, not in Middle Age Europe or China. As you can see, they channel water and use the water mill to actually cut stones like this. So it's mechanization in the past. And you can see, I think the wooden part is reconstructed here, has been reconstructed. And it's this one. So they channel water there, the water mill, to move the blades. See, cut. That one. Wow. Okay, let's go back. That's it, guys. That's Geras. You should come here if you have the opportunity. So see you next time. Tomorrow, our next video, maybe we might go to Madaba or Dead Sea. Just stay tuned. Bye bye. Ikuti terus Bang Jago. Sampai jumpa.